Hi everyone. So the questions we're being asked is what we do to stay motivated with training. So for me, being a busy mum and also obviously running a business, I do struggle to get myself into classes. So when I am training on my own, I always make sure that in my training sessions I have a skill piece. So there's an element of fun. So at the moment I am doing press to handstand. So I'll always start with a 15-minute skill transfer session. In the gym, sometimes that's muscle ups or Cossack squats. So something that's challenging, but it also can be quite fun because you're learning a new skill. And then when I'm doing workouts, if I am feeling unmotivated, I make sure that I do movements that I really enjoy. And then at the same time, movements that perhaps I don't enjoy so much, so that I'm keeping that variety. And at the same time, I'm forcing myself to also work on those weaknesses alongside my strengths. So for me, my go-tos for having a bit of fun are always going to be power cleans and handstand push-ups. So if there's a session that I find is mentally challenging, I'll always make sure I do something at the end of the session with those in, even if it's like a quick little AMRAP of the two movements, just to make sure I end on a good note and I have an enjoyable session. So hopefully those tips help you guys.
Hi, hello everyone. So talking a little bit about what makes me motivated, what motivates me to do my training. And I have to confess that I did struggle a little bit in the beginning. It was a bit like everybody else, like overwhelmed and trying to establish a new routine at home. But what I found that it has been working for me is, first of all, to set up small goals, things that I know that I couldn't work on before, I didn't have time, and especially in terms of mobility. Because we always say that we're going to work on these things and we end up not doing. So if I cannot make to a class, I always stick to the programming, because I think it's really important for me to feel what you guys feel when you do the workout. So it doesn't matter if it's engine room or if it's body weight. So I stick to the programming. And because in a sense, I know that I'm part of the community and I'm still doing what you guys are doing. And if I don't feel my energy on that day to give everything, I respect that as well. So I try to take it easy, to scale the workout, and then add a little bit more of these drills that I know that I need. And just working on those small goals, like for next week, for 2 weeks. I'm not thinking ahead too much, like 3 months from now. No, I'm thinking about small steps, small goals as well, and just enough to keep me okay. I'm doing it and I can do it. So I think the idea now is just to be kind to ourselves and try to make the most of what we can. And we are CrossFitters now. We adapt. We are ready for anything and everything. So I think this is it. I hope I have helped you guys a little bit. Thank you. Bye.
I suppose to get me motivated, I take a little while to warm up for my mobility side of things. So I'll do animal flow. Love to do a bit of animal flow. It helps with my mobility, gets my shoulders warmed up and get a good beast in. It's one hell of a testing workout, as much as it is warming yourself up as well. Then from there, I'll try and hit something heavy that does the whole body. So I'd either go high reps on deadlift, or if you've got some weight, then I'd highly recommend going heavy on the deadlift, doing a really decent tempo with that as well. And then I'll just smash out something seriously gassy, burpees over the bar, handstand push-ups. If you've got a row, I'd smash out a row, ski erg, but burpees are always king. And then I'll probably finish up doing some sort of gymnastic skill, so a little bit of handstands or something like that would always keep me slightly entertained, because I'm bloody rubbish at them, so I have to keep doing them.
I think we all have our bad days. Some of us will be struggling with with this isolation period much worse than others, and that's fine. I think what we need to do is find out what works for you. For me, I like routine, I always have. So I like to plan out my days and set myself goals for the day. So for example, at the moment, I've got my goals on mobility and handstands. So I'll put those goals on the fridge, and that makes me accountable for those goals. So every time I open that fridge, I see the goals, and it just keeps my mind ticking over. So it keeps me motivated. Another thing I like to do is I like to train with somebody else. So I'll reach out to Yunus in Bali, or I'll reach out to Dan and say, look, do you fancy doing a workout today? I'm a bit struggling. I just need, or he'll do the same to me. Dan will message me saying, look, I really need this week. I want to really push myself. Let's work out. So that's the kind of thing I do. I prefer it. I like to work out with somebody else. I don't like working out on my own. So yeah, we'll just do the whole WhatsApp video. So, or I jump into a class. I know all the coaches are going to be there pushing me on. So any of those really. That's what kind of the thing I like to do.